Hey guys, it's your own boy, the one week Great Dane, back with our third BlockBlast stream again. We have the Great Dane After Hours here with BlockBlast. So, again, we somehow have 3 likes before I've even started the stream. You guys are going crazy, I don't know. But again, let's see what we have going on here. So, Dehiva loves the thumbnail. So again, I was originally going to change the thumbnail actually. However, again, Master Mo said explicitly that this was a perfect thumbnail, so again, I would be a bit disheartened if I were to change the thumbnail at all, so we're keeping it like this for these 3 consecutive streams. Again, I could have changed it if I really wanted to, though, so anyway, Cosmic Brawl says he's going to haunt me. Uh, Good luck, I guess. I'm not really sure what that means. Anyway, he says, I hope you win the tournament. Again, I'm assuming you're referring to the 15 win challenge. I actually have not done that yet, and that is referring to Brawl Stars. But anyway, getting back into Block Blast, I will remind you guys that we do have a Block Blast Cup coming up next weekend. So, again, with it being at the same time as the probably Brawl Stars monthly finals. I'm gonna have to see how that ends up working out. Again, I might end up having to delay the stream furthermore. Again, this one's already about 30 minutes later, which just means that we're gonna push it to 9:30 tonight exactly, since I have a 30-minute leeway anyway. But again, I figure I'll probably be, if we go to the more games section, I kind of want to continue arrows here. Again, let me just make sure that the audio is working correctly here. Okay, that seems fine. Again, this music's a little loud, but again, if we continue where we left off, we're on Nightmare here with arrows that look like Pac-Man eating a dot. Again, I'm pretty excited to finish this one off because we came very, very close yesterday. Then I managed to mess it up. But again, this one does not have consecutive victories like the actual main Block Blast mode, so we're going to pretend like I didn't mess it up last time. But again, we will be going until 9:30 p.m. my time, so we still have the full hour and a half despite being late, and again, I could go into why I started the stream late, but it's completely irrelevant to anything going on here, so again, unless you guys ask, I probably won't indulge you on that. Alright. Again, the puzzle actually doesn't change, which is interesting, because if I remember enough from yesterday, I should be able to actually get through this quicker. But he actually made it, again, I think the TTS was a little quiet on yesterday's stream, especially since I went back and I put in that short from Master Moen when he joined yesterday. He was telling me about the calculus he had to do today. Again, hopefully that went well for him. Again, I'm hoping it sounds good on stream right now, but I don't want to waste too much time checking it out. Oh, that. Yeah. Again, everything's fine. Again, if it wasn't fine, I assure you I wouldn't be block blasting at 8 o'clock at night here. But yeah, everything is good. The only thing I'll say again, referring to Brawl Stars, is I have not completed the 15 win challenge yet, but I have until 4 a.m. my time. And again, I got confirmation from one of my teammates. The other one just has not responded since. Not sure why. We found another guy who wants to, again, assuming he'll also stay up to whatever that time is. We're going to run through it. Again, I'm not too worried about the 15 win challenge. It's only the monthly finals specifically because the Brawl Blast Cup is essentially scheduled for the same time that the finals is. So if I do enter the finals and we do particularly well, I might have to end up delaying this type of stream until even later at night. Again, I don't think the people at Brawl at Block Blast are really gonna care too much if I delayed a bit. Again, I think they said they had other schedules available, but this is the main suggested time that they had. So again, as long as I let them know, I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. But anyway, so the way this game works here, again, this is called arrows in BlockBlast, is essentially you want to get all the arrows off screen, but if an arrow bumps into another arrow, you lose a heart, and if you lose all 3 hearts, then you just lose the level and you have to restart. You can save your progress by watching an advertisement, though, but again, there's no way I could ever drop to such a low that I would need to watch an ad in BlockBlast. And again, this is technically supposed to be um, a special version given to me by the people over at Hungry Studios. So again, there is something I should probably inform them of that I came across. I think it was on yesterday's stream, but again, just something to bring to their attention. It's not a big deal, but something they'd probably want to take attention to. This is my last stream for BlockBlast Teheva for the weekends. I'm technically supposed to do it again for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of the coming weekend. But again, that's going to get a little complicated assuming I do try to enter into the Brawl Stars monthly finals. So again, it would technically be the same like 3 streams next weekend, assuming that they like everything that I've been doing so far. And again, I haven't had really any complaints. They just asked me to change one setting in the um, YouTube live stream. But again, other than that, they seem to be pretty pleased, I think, with the content I've been producing. I don't know if they're aware I put the shorts out yet, but again, I'll probably put out one more short for this stream as well. But other than that, again, this is my last stream for the next like 5 days ish, roughly at least. Or see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, so the next 4 days I won't be doing Block Blast at night. Again, not at least not until the cup comes up the following weekend. So again, Dehiva, isn't it also 2 a.m. for you? Like, shouldn't you be in bed? Why are you here? Actually, though, I have to wonder. Right. Again, let me see if I can't make more progress here as well. Again, it starts off pretty easy, but then, oh man, I didn't even. See, I think that's what I did last time. I didn't even mean to click there. Okay, so the monthly qualifier, so that's what comes after the 15 win challenge. So obviously, every single match of the 15 win challenge, you get like a star drop, right? The boy? What? Am I the boy? Who's the boy, Diva? You mean the TTS? Like the guy speaking for you, right? Oh, okay. That's good. Again, I was about to say, is there someone else behind me? All right. Well, again, so as far as the 15 win challenge goes, back in my day, right? Goblins didn't used to ride in barrels. Again, that's a Clash Royale reference. But essentially, what I'm saying is, back in the day, for the 15 win challenge, you would get like a star drop, right, for each win. And before that, I think it was, I want to say boxes, but it wasn't like every win. It's like every set of 3 wins or something. But again, my main point is they changed it recently so that you can get chaos drops, I think, on every 3rd win too. So again, if you can get through all 15 wins, even if you don't plan on going pro, you can get some free rewards there. But to answer your question, as far as the monthly qualifiers goes, so unfortunately, um, if even if you win matches on the first day, but you still even lose to one team. I think you need to win 5 sets regardless. Even if you lose to one team, you're just completely out, no second chances. So again, it's pretty intense on the first day, especially. On the second day, if you lose, I think you might get a second chance. I'm not 100% sure. And then if you can make it through the second day and you have a really high score, I think you might even get into the monthly finals. But again, the real stakes only start to come once you make it to the monthly finals. But I think all the actual like main compensation incentive comes from like the summer cup or the World Finals right at the end of the year. I think the only people that are really getting paid are people that are already in organizations. Like pro players for Tribe probably get paid some kind of stipend for being in their organization and for advertising with companies and all that sort of thing. So again, it's pretty intense, I would say. You don't unfortunately get anything. Like technically we won two matches last monthly finals, right? Before the cup. So what did we end up getting? We got some points on the leaderboard. That's what we got. That doesn't actually do anything for us, but that is what yeah. That is what we ended up getting. But again, if even if you win some matches on the first day, but you still get outed by a better team, you're just out cold. You don't get anything. I hate to tell you. Again, it's pretty cutthroat. It's pretty intense. But again, for these BlockBlast streams, I've been trying to keep things pretty low key, right? And man, I I can't believe I accidentally clicked the arrow again. These puzzles are pretty straightforward, so I haven't really Yeah, again, Dehiva, even if you stick around for this entire hour and a half stream, I'm probably not going to post the top fans for the Block Blast streams, though I of course do appreciate you guys again, especially from the Brawl Stars streams. Tuning over for Block Blast. I probably won't post that, but again, the history of these chats do exist, forever because I don't delete them or anything. So even the chat is like saved. Like if you went back and watched it in the future, you can see the chat come in like in real time on the stream too. So you can watch the leaderboard in real time like it's all saved in the history, right? So even though I might not post it, it will exist as long as YouTube is a thing and my account exists and all that, So yeah, again, it's unfortunate that um, esports for Brawl Stars is so intense, I'll say, but again, I've been improving, and if I could just get good enough teammates, I really think we can make it far. We'll just have to end up seeing. But again, in the ridiculous event that you end up seeing me in monthly finals somehow, I'll do my best. But until then, I'll keep you guys updated on the process. And again, I think you guys wanted me to go into like a vlog or something of even more detailed of what exactly happens after you win the 15 win challenge. Again, you essentially get invited to um, oh, okay. That's right. I forgot. So it isn't 2 a.m. for you, at least. I was gonna say, man, I'd feel so bad if you were if you were up at 2 a.m. to watch Block Blast. But again, not that the game itself isn't interesting or anything like that, but I think there might be some. Is this something I say a lot when I'm playing Brawl Stars too? Right? Is there might just be more important things than Block Blast sometimes, guys. But if you're looking for a nice, soothing game to solve puzzles on. I think this usually does the trick. Again, especially arrows, I think is a lot more relaxing compared to the main game on here because they. I know you haven't tuned into the other streams here, Diva, but even if you go watch back for like a few minutes, you'll notice they keep playing the same piano tune over and over and over again. That doesn't play while I'm in arrows here. So again, I feel like if I played too long on the regular Block Blast, I'll lose my mind because it's just that same song, and it's not even a long string of notes either. It's like 10 or 20 notes, and then it stops, and then it just keeps repeating over and over and over again. That is my main. That is my main complaint, but that and the fact that with the main block blasting, you really have to think forward to where you're putting your blocks because if you don't, you're gonna get messed up real bad. With arrows here, all you have to do is look at the arrow and say, is it gonna hit another arrow? If it is, don't touch it. If it isn't, get rid of it. It's really simple on this one. So again, I am on nightmare difficulty right here, trying to solve Pac-Man eating his dot here, but again, the only thing that really makes this so hard or nightmare difficulty is the fact that a lot of the arrows here are like kind of going right in between other arrows, or sometimes I have to go all the way from the right side of the screen to the left or top to bottom. I think again, this is arrows. It can't really get that difficult, right? How hard can arrows really get? So again, if there's like a nightmare plus difficulty, if I'm like the king of arrows or something, we'll find out. But again, right now, um, I'm on level 38. Yeah, I was gonna say I'd be really sad if I lost my progress from going back here, but again, I've gotten through like 37 levels in one stream, so I think I'm pretty good at arrows. But again, without further delay, let's actually keep playing here. So again, I have to find arrows. Like this one is tricky right here. It threads the needle right in between a bunch of other arrows, so those are the trickiest ones. I already accidentally tapped one of the arrows that I didn't even mean to, but again, I think I can get through this without losing if I'm taking my time enough here. And again, of course, anyone on stream is allowed to help me if you see something that I'm not seeing or want to point something out, then you're free to do so. But again, I'm usually pretty good about solving this myself for the most part. It does take me a few minutes sometimes, but I usually am able to get it eventually. Like, I think this one here is also good. Okay, that opens up for this one. And that's all for right there. I think this one at the top can go across. Okay, what else do we have here? I think this one can go down. This one can go down. Again, actually, I think I almost feel worse that it is like morning time for you to Diva because, again, if these are supposed to be relaxing streams, you might fall back to sleep. Okay, I think this one can go up now. There we go. I always confuse myself when it's highlighted in red because I forget to look at it, but alright, let's keep going here. This one can go. Again, I just gotta look for the sneaky ones here. Those ones can't go down just yet. Something in the way. And if I'm really, really stuck, I'll just look at every single individual arrow and eventually I'll figure it out. But again, my two rules for solving it quicker so far have been, if I haven't selected an arrow in a while, it's probably a small arrow or one going in between two other ones, like this one can go. There we go. Okay, what does that really do? Not much. Okay. Again, this is one of the hardest levels, arguably, though, but again, I should be able to solve it relatively quickly, and the levels in between levels are usually easier too, so we'll see what we have going on here. Okay. Again, it might even be from memory because I've technically done most of this level before. I was actually really close to finishing it last time, but then I rushed and failed miserably. So, again, let me see. What am I missing here? I think it's this one. Yeah, again, that's the sneaky one, right in between the others. Okay, then this can go down to, and this one, I think. There we go. That opens it up quite a bit, but now I need to see which one can leave from that one. I guess this one. Get rid of this one now, which means these can go down. These can go up. This can go down. This can go down. These two can go. These few in the corner, I remember, were here until the very end, so I know those aren't gonna go yet. Okay. I think this one can just sneak out there. Okay. This is good to go. This one should be good to go now. Those two, again, some of these are really deceiving because these two that go all the way to the right look like they could, but they'll just slightly bump on this down arrow here. This one can go, which should free up this one up here. And I believe I can get rid of the other one as well. Oh my god. That's the second time. Every time I go to press the line button, I accidentally click one of the other arrows. So I actually have to remind myself now to make sure I'm in a good spot before I even click the button. That is my one peeve about this arrows game specifically, is that every time I go to click the line button, which is incredibly useful by the way, because I can see exactly where the arrows are pointing and it helps me find out the ones that I can go a little bit quicker, is I'll accidentally tap one of the arrows. So I'm down to 1 health now, but again, if I take it slow enough, I should be fine. So if I remember correctly, it should be this one that goes now. Okay. Again, this is, as far as I'm aware, the hardest difficulty in this game. So again, I'm not expecting this to be easy, but I should be able to get it this time. Back in the same spot it was last time, though. Right. I think this one could just go to the right here. Okay. I think this one should be able to go now. And this one, which means those can finally go down. Okay. Getting back on track now. This should be able to go up. Okay, I'm looking for free arrows here. Again, the trick, you just gotta find an arrow that's not intersecting with any other arrow, then it can go. Okay, I think this one's fine. What's next? There's always one very specific one, again, especially on these nightmare levels, that you need to go in a very exact order. I think it's this one. Okay. I think I just barely get rid of this one. Okay. That should be followed up by this one. Okay, that should clear up a little more space. Just a little bit. Okay. Gotta find out what can move now that those are out of the way. Again, we're so close to finishing it off here. I think there's maybe like 20, 30 arrows left. This is a pretty massive level, though, compared to the other ones. You'll see, once I finish this level, I'll just breeze through the next 4 levels because they give you a lot easier ones. But again, I gotta take my time because I'm already down to 1 heart, though. Right? Oh, so close here. What's next? What am I missing? Okay, can't do that one, that one, that one. At this point, I'm just gonna have to go through arrow by arrow. I'll find out which one it is eventually. All those are still hitting. Those 3. That one hits that one, hits that one.
Diva7979DS says, am I the only one?
Well, again, that's the thing, Diva, is this is a lot more relaxing game. So I think people tend to tune in and out because, again, you can only get so excited by watching arrows fly off the screen, you know? So again, personally, I think there is, at least for this, I think this is my favorite of the puzzles in BlockBlast so far. Um, I think there's a certain type of satisfaction to completing a hard level. I think it's this one. This is the one. No, Diva, I think Master Moen last stream, he joined and he was the one that said oi, and I almost had a stroke because it was like, there's no way Eliaps would show up to a Block Blast stream, right? But yeah, you have a good point there. Okay, I think that should start clearing things up now. Let me see. I can get rid of this bottom one. Okay. We're to get progress here. I think I can just barely get rid of these now, which means I can get rid of this one. I think these ones should be able to go right now, which means this can go down. Yeah, this should be able to go down, and this one, we're getting there. This is good. Not the bottom one though. This was fine. This should be fine now, which means those two can go. Okay, I think this is just about where I left off the last time when I failed by accidentally clicking an arrow for the third time. Okay, I should definitely be able to get it this time though. Yeah, this should be down. I still have to take it slow though. Dehiva, so later today. So again, we're in completely different time zones. So for me, today is Sunday. I will not be streaming anymore Sunday, but it's late at night Sunday. I will be streaming on Monday tomorrow morning. Yeah, so that's what I was about to say. So technically yes, but also no, if that even makes sense. But again, yes, sort of, maybe, kind of. If I'm not really sure how to answer that exactly, but the answer is yes. The stream is coming soon enough. I hope. I hope that answers your question. And no, it will not be Block Blast because I think you already sort of asked that as well. Again, I can only play so much Block Blast before the cogs in my head get stuck. Right? You can only solve so many puzzles at a time, I suppose, before you need a rest. All right. Okay, so man, what am I missing here? Which one of these arrows isn't hitting? I think it's this one right in between is really sneaky. There we go. Okay. That frees up this one. Okay, what else can go now? There's always those ones threading the needle that are really tricky. I think this can go, this one, this one. Oh, we're so close now. We're very, very close. Okay. What can go next? Okay, that can't go up. It's got to be one of these from the right all the way to the left. Not quite. Maybe left to right? I think it is. Yeah. Oh, can I get it? Just barely. I'm so worried I'm going to tap the wrong arrow and I'm going to restart the entire level because I have too much pride to watch an advertisement to save my progress. Okay. It's got to be from right to left again, maybe? They all seem to be stuck, though. I mean, that must have undone something, though, right? Okay. I mean, there's only like 10 arrows left. Like, it has to be one of them, but which one? They're still touching each other, though. How could they possibly get past? Oh, wait, this one's going left. That's what it is, of course. Right. That should clear up a lot of these now. Or at least this one in the middle should slide out. Okay. This one can go left, which means these can too. This can finally go up. This can go left. This can go left. This can go up. This can go up. This can go down.
Diva7979BS says, so what will you be streaming, pushing Edgar, or playing ranked with viewers?
So Dehiva, that's entirely dependent on who shows up because, again, the main plan is to push Edgar, but if people show up wanting to play ranked, then I will play ranked. So, again, that the Edgar is the fallback plan essentially, right? But mainly, again, I would think it would be ranked, but it just depends on who shows up because if no one shows up, it's either going to be before it would have been like Mortis, but they didn't have the mod in, so I was playing to complete. They call it records, right? So I was doing records before I could finish off Mortis. Again, with Edgar, I think I can almost just play him in general. It really shouldn't be that hard. We're talking about Edgar here, but Yeah, let me just finish off this level finally before I mess it up somehow. Alright, I'm kind of excited to see what the next one is. We beat Pac-Man on Nightmare difficulty. Okay. See, again, now this level should be ridiculously easy compared to what I just did. Okay, so I should be able to finish these next four with relative ease. It's like every fifth level is a really hard one in this, or at least that's what it seems to have been so far. Alright. This might even be the same level. Yeah, of course, Dehiva. Again, I figured that's why you're asking. And again, I think it was Scythe that said he just hit Mythic too. So again, if he's on or around that time, he could probably join us as well. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we got Scythe. I know Master Moan is obviously good. He was around Legendary last season. Um, I think we've been doing it with Cool Kenji a bit, right? I think he even joined the Discord. So again, he's another decent player. I think where we left off, Dehiva from Friday, was you're literally like one match away, right? I thought we all had it, but I think you were just a smidge under Mythic 1. So again, I had no doubts that you would be able to get there if you wanted to, though. Right. I can, again, there are other games in here, and I can show them to you if you guys want, but I do prefer me some arrows here. Like, I have no problem doing an hour and a half of arrows. I feel like I start to get a bit frustrated when I play the main BlockBlast because of just how much thought capacity you need to actually really do well, because there's a lot of different ways you can place the blocks, but again, this is very straightforward, so, okay. Again, really easy level here. Alright, 38 arrows on that one. When? It's only been two. Wait, hang on. It's only been two levels. You can't put me on a nightmare already. I just completed one. Also, this is just another squares. It's supposed to be. What's kind of nice about the harder levels is they're usually like a shape, right? Was this supposed to be a microchip? It's just another rectangle. That's not cool. Yeah, Dehiva, they implemented that change because before, and I'd even have it happen in my matches sometimes, is people would troll by just picking like a power one Shelly and then throwing the match. So they made it so that, I mean, you can still throw the match, but at least now you have to actually pick a correctly powered brawler, right? Or at least a brawler that's going to stand a chance, I'll say. Again, there is that question though, what if all of your Power 11 brawlers are banned and and then you have to pick. I think what actually happens is because they're banned, you literally can't pick anything and then it says that you left the match or dodged the match. So that's my belief on what happens if all your potential brawlers get banned or you don't have any left to pick. I think it essentially just forces you out of the match, unfortunately, but that is my understanding. So yeah, again, that's just to kind of filter out the bad randoms a little bit more, right? Or the people who either are newer to the game or aren't willing to shell out to max out their brawlers, right? Again, I have a pretty firm maxed out range of brawlers just because I've been playing for so long. But again, I only really buy the passes in Brawl Stars. So again, they do provide a tremendous amount of value, though. Oh yeah, again, the more you can have maxed out, the better. In fact, again, I won't show you guys this. I have kept the esports that I do a bit more private, again, just for the sake of the people that I play with, right? Because just because I'm a YouTuber doesn't mean that they want to be involved in my content, you know what I'm saying? So again, I can give you guys more details if you're interested to know how the process goes. Um, but generally, what I did say when I was looking for someone else today on the esports Discord is please at least have most of your brawlers maxed out. The more, the better, right? But again, you don't necessarily need every single brawler maxed out. And in fact, it really only applies to the 15-win challenge, because if you guys didn't know, um, again, and this is what I haven't told you guys, is when you're doing the monthly qualifiers, they invite you to a private match, right? With like power rank or whatever it's called, right? Where you essentially play ranked in a friendly battle, if that makes sense. And as you guys know, in friendly battles, all your brawlers are supposed to be maxed out anyway. So the brawler level only surprisingly only matters in ranked in the 15-win challenge. It does not matter in the monthly qualifiers, and I don't think it matters in the monthly finals either. I think again, money should not determine how much skill you can have, right? So I think that's why they have it like that, right? Or if you're newer, you shouldn't necessarily feel like you can't compete. So as long as you can get past the 15-win challenge, it doesn't even matter if you're on a newer account or an alt account or whatever. And I think a lot of people kind of abuse that, right? They might try and enter on 15 different alt accounts, whatever they can do just to get past the 15-win challenge and have more chances at the monthly qualifier. Because as I've told you, the monthly qualifier is very intense, right? You need to really win to make any progress towards getting rewards per se, or money, right? And again, I don't even think you necessarily get any money from winning a monthly qualifier. It just sets you up to actually go to the Brawl Cup or to the Brawl Finals. That's where you actually get a decent amount of money. Again, the only other way you'd be getting money, from my understanding, is if you're already in an organization like Tribe or something where they're actually paying you to perform well, right? To actually um, make it to the cup because they believe in you enough to get to the cup, and then the organization takes some amount of that money too. So
7979BS says the chances of getting money is so low.
yeah, but again, I don't feel like you should be in the cup for money, Diva. I feel like you should have enough pride in the sport itself to want to win for the sake of winning. At least that's how I feel about it. Money is great. I think we'll all agree with that. It helps you do a lot of things. There's a lot of things you can do with it. But it also comes with risks because people see you have a lot of it and then they want it too. So then you got to upgrade your security, yada yada yada. The list goes on and on.
7979BS says, yeah, the title is better.
Yeah, and Steve, again, if you forgot, if you're like a world finals champion, you get like one of those special pins too, right? That only like 3 people in the world get to have. It's pretty exclusive, right? And there's no amount of money that can buy that either. So again, it's a big deal. Just to say that you won. Again, for me, if I were somehow to make it through and like win the world finals, I could say I finally brought the championship back to like North America, right? North America always seems to flounder once they get towards the end there on their not even their playing. I think they often lose on bad draft picks, in my opinion, because the players are, they got good players in Tribe and what was that other one everyone was voting for? I'm kind of blanking. Again, obviously, I tend to favor Tribe, but again, they just always fail on the draft picks, and I don't know why. But yeah, again, before I forget entirely what I'm doing here, let me try and get back to this level. Again, I'm already almost a little stumped. I guess this is called Nightmare for a reason, though, but where am I even supposed to go from here? There's one. Okay, that actually gets rid of quite a few there already. How can this already be Nightmare difficulty? I went from like Nightmare to an easy level back to Nightmare. What is happening? Okay. I thought I was supposed to at least get 4 levels of reprieve before they threw me back into a difficult one, but I guess we're just hopping right back into it already again. This really shouldn't be that difficult. I mean, it's a rectangle. The other shape was Pac-Man, so
7979BS says, are you participating in the tournament for BlockBlast?
oh, that thing, the cup. Well, it's not like I personally will get a score, Dehiva. If you don't know, again, you can click on the link to it. It's per state, right? So any high scores that I get, and I think I do have to do it in the Block Blast Classic. I'll have to email them about exactly how that works, but I'll end up doing my best to get my high score for like the state of New York, right? Whoever's playing for Block Blast, but it's not like there's any stakes for me if I perform poorly, right? Because we're doing it as a state, if that makes sense. And again, unfortunately, this only really applies to the United States of America. if you're outside that, again, the website's supposed to like track your IP or something and automatically put in for you. So again, unless you're trying to use a VPN or something, right? I don't think you're really supposed to try and enter the cup unless you live within the United States. Again, it's supposed to be an exciting thing, right? Like fight for the pride of your state, yada yada. I think it'd be a bit more exciting than the streams I'm doing right now, right? Because there's an actual goal in mind. Right now, I'm essentially just playing Block Blast to say how far can I get, right?
Says, okay, I did it.
Yeah, right now I'm just playing Block Blast to, see if I can solve some of these harder puzzles here, but there's not really like an inherent goal in mind, and I think that's why these streams aren't really as exciting right now. Like, say when I'm streaming Brawl Stars for you guys, right? Let's say we want to get to Masters rank or something. There's an inherent goal in mind, and I think that's what really gives us that drive there. Or I want to get Prestige 3 Mortis, right? You know exactly what I'm going for, and there's something you can root for there. But like when you're watching this, like, are you really rooting for me to solve this nightmare rectangle puzzle? Maybe it's just not as exciting. So again, I'm not dissing Block Blast. I think it's a decent game, right? Anyone can pick this up, and again, I do think there's a certain satisfaction here to completing these puzzles. But again, it falls into the same mind for me with OG Moko, right? Does it get too repetitive? You know. So again, I do think there's always going to be slight variations here, and it's certainly like a brain twister, if you will. But again, it can only really be so exciting as I make it. And I did technically add a losing sound effect to this stream, Dave, I will tell you. But again, it's so incredibly hard to lose in arrows that I don't know that I'll need to use it. Again, I'd often use it for the regular Block Blast game though, because it's actually pretty easy to lose there. Again, because there's so many variations on the blocks they can give you where you need to place them. Again, here you just tap the arrow and it works or it doesn't work. So it's a lot simpler here. Again, man, how am I missing this? Where do I go next? Okay, we still got like 50 minutes of stream left. Again, because I started a bit later here. All right, what am I missing? That one can't go down. I think it's this one in between. Again, that's why anytime it's like a nightmare level, I always find the arrows.
Says, I wonder why Brawl Stars is increasing the number of Star Nova drops in a day. I mean, it's good.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone was surprised to see that. I know Ray Brawl Stars was just commenting on it in his latest video, so again, I'm not 100% sure to be honest with you guys. And if you'll give me 1 second, again, there's something I have to do. I can if I come back in a second, I think I'll tell you guys why I started the stream late. Again, it's so completely irrelevant, but again, if you guys will indulge me for about 2 minutes, I'll be right back. All right, and we are back and ready to blast off into Block Blast here. Again, technically supposed to run it for the full hour and a half, but we'll just keep this one between us, guys. They'll think we're block blasting for the full hour and a half. Again, I've been, to be fair, I've been talking for like 10 minutes about Brawl Stars anyway, but yeah, again, the reason this stream was late today, again, completely irrelevant to anything, is that I think we recently received one of those like internal updates to our router, and we have a really old printer, or I think at least like 10, 15 years old printer. And I was trying to reconnect it through Wi-Fi. It just kind of stopped working. I think they had some kind of Mac protection update that it just won't let the old hardware on the printer reconnect. And I kind of confirmed this because I went through this whole process of reinstalling the old software, and it basically just said, "Oh, do you have this Mac security thing turned on?" I was like, well, I don't know. I don't know how to fix that. And I didn't really have time to fix it now. So again, it still works through like USB anyway, but it is a little more convenient not to have to plug it in every time. So I guess we're gonna get stuck with that unless I can figure out how to fix that. But again, that's the reason the stream was like delayed a little bit, as I was trying to fix that printer Wi-Fi connection issue again. Unfortunately, it seems to be a router issue. The original difficulties I had connecting it was just because it was using an older hardware, but you could bypass that by using the USB-C, and then
7979
yeah, and then you could connect it straight to the Wi-Fi through the USB. But now it just won't connect at all because of this router update. So again, it's not the biggest issue in the world, but I thought I could fix it. Apparently not right now. Again, if I could, again, what AI suggested is I try and open up a separate 2.4 gigahertz connection, but yeah, I mean, if you think about it like this, Steve, if I go to print something, I still have to walk up to the printer and grab the paper anyway, right? The only difference now is that I have, instead of just clicking the print button, I have to take the computer, walk next to the printer anyway, which I would have to do to pick up the piece of paper anyway, aggressively thrust the the USB into the computer, then I click print and then it goes through, right? So it just adds like an extra step every time you want to print. Again, the it's an old printer, but it's still like good, you know, so it's not like we're just gonna throw the hunk of junk away or whatever, right? But yeah, it's a little unfortunate, but you know, it doesn't really change all that much. It just adds an extra step. I mean, again, I'm just glad that it still works is the thing. Technically, there is a wireless connection. Like the printer puts out its own Wi-Fi signal in a way.
7979DS says, yeah, no going there.
Yeah, so it puts out its own signal, which is it's like a Wi-Fi network, but it's named whatever the printer's name is. And if you connect to that and then you hit the print button, it'll still work. And I think I could do it through my phone, but I went to connect through my laptop and it kept saying it couldn't connect. So it's always like one issue after another, right? You know, that's kind of how it's been this whole time when I was trying to set up these streams anyway. I'm sure you guys can remember the endless amount of technical issues I would keep running into, and I'd have to keep troubleshooting them, right? So again, that's basically everything I I do here as troubleshooting technical issues at this point. It feels like, but again, let me let me focus in and keep trying to complete some of these arrows levels here so I can at least say I've completed something during this stream, right? Besides just talking about printer issues and Brawl Stars esports. Not that I don't enjoy the topics, but again, these are technically supposed to be dedicated block blast streams, right? Like I still need to make a short off of this, right? So I need like a really hype 60 seconds of block blast at least. Or again, if I couldn't do that, I'd literally just have to go and make a separate short, but ideally I would remix a section from the stream. Like I just posted like 5 or 6 different shorts from the streams I did recently, which obviously all of you guys can see for yourselves. Again, it's just a lot easier than having to make a dedicated short because if you guys don't know, if you've never made YouTube shorts before, they have this AI system in YouTube that tries to recognize if the video you're uploading is a short or a regular video. Again, it's very strange because you would think when you go onto YouTube and you're
Diaz says, yeah, the Star Nova is so cool.
you go onto YouTube and you're choosing to upload a video, you think you'd hit either short or long form and then you'd continue to upload, but that's not quite how it works. You go onto YouTube and you just click like upload a video, and then the AI system determines based on the ratio of the video, right? Like if it's a certain size, essentially, right? It's supposed to be a certain size, like, verticals, I think is how the cool kids say shorts, right? So it has to be like a vertical ratio, essentially, in order to upload to shorts. And it also has to be between 15 to 60 seconds. So you can't have like an hour long short, even if it's the correct ratio. So again, it's such an extra hassle to create a short dedicated for something rather than just, they added this new remix feature. If you go onto any video that allows it, like you can go onto my streams and you can even remix them yourselves and publish videos from my streams because I allow for that. Um, Again, I don't think I get any inherent benefit from you guys remixing the streams besides exposure, I guess. But again, if you were to get a million views on a short, like it wouldn't help my channel, but I would technically get that exposure. If people are interested, like, like who is this guy, right? They might head over to my channel, that sort of thing. But again, it's all just a bunch of technical wabbajock, I'll say, right? It's all just a bunch of technical stuff. So again, hopefully I can get a really decent 60-second clip tonight just to turn into a short. But again, I am glad that there's at least a few of you that can tune into this BlockBlast stream and have a little bit of fun, right? I think that's the best thing I can do for you guys is provide some level of entertainment value here. But obviously, it's a lot harder to do on a puzzle game because it's so straightforward.
7979 DS says, so you are doing the brawl pass giveaway when the season starts.
You got shadow banned Dehiva. If people are busy, click on this link here. They're supposed to be busy watching the stream. I've never seen someone get that one before. What did it think you were linking, Dehiva? I think it's because you put brawl.pass. It thought you were trying to spam a website in the chat here. So, Dehiva, what's going to happen is the creator season, I think they actually gypped us a bit, and I talked about it in today's video. I haven't posted yet. I'll see if I can't post those 3 videos tonight or not, because again, I have to stay up a little later to do those the 15 win challenge anyway. But essentially, it said there's like 3 days left to get the 500 scans of my QR code / link. But essentially, what ended up happening is they cut it short so that everything essentially ends today, and they actually ended off that Brawl Stars World Finals is coming to Japan event like that. I kept saying we almost have a thousand views on that short on my channel. So again, we're only like 9 views away, and I was technically supposed to have until the end of the day, but they like shortened everything by a day, unfortunately. So the Supercell content creator season ends tonight, which means I'll get a new set of quests that I can complete right away, which will allow me to get enough stamps on my Brawl Pass giveaway card, which means that I can do the Brawl Pass giveaway relatively soon. Again, it's not when the new season starts, Dehiva. It's like, what did I say? So I'll do the giveaway the day before the I call it the Mega Star Drop opening. Again, it's not really just Star Drops anymore, but it's the Mega opening. I'll do the giveaway. I'll start it the day before so people have 24 hours to enter. I'll do the drawing the day before the season starts, and then I'll give away the pass to the winner on the day of the new season. And again, even if I've made a very clear point about this, even if the people that win reach out to me the day of, right before the season starts, I will not give it to them until the day the season starts to make absolutely sure that they don't accidentally claim the pass for this current season. Again, I think what is this one called? Star Nova, something, right? So I'd be very very sad if I, you know, went to give them the pass and they forgot to wait to claim it or something and they accidentally claimed it with like an hour left on this season or some nonsense, right? So again, I'll have to remember. So I think the new Brawl Pass season's gonna start on Thursday, right? So I'll open up the giveaway on Tuesday, draw the winners on Wednesday, and give them out on Thursday. Does that sound like a plan, Diva? Again, I know it's it's a bit of a process for me, but again, I think it's worth it for you guys. It gives you guys 24 hours to enter. It gives you guys plenty of time. Yeah. It didn't last time to Hiva, but again, if it does, like I've explained to you guys, because my giveaways actually are real, I can't re-record without changing the winners because it's all random. So if it does again, I'll just have to post as is, and you guys will have to learn to lip read just a little bit more, right? I think that's what Cosmic said or something at one point, right? He said he was watching with the audio off and he was trying to trying to lip read for me. All right. Okay, where did I leave off here? Again, I might only get through 3 levels today, but I do think you guys are enjoying the stream a bit more this time, is what I'll say. Again, we can only blast so many blocks in one day. Okay. Looks like I gotta get rid of a bunch of these down arrows. There we go. Again, Nightmare doesn't feel so nightmarish once you realize that a lot of what makes this level so difficult is the fact that they have all of the arrows going from like top all the way to the bottom, so it's easier to spot them, I would say. And obviously having these lines on the screen helps a lot too. Alright, let's see what's next. This one can go out. So get this one. Again, this one, get rid of that. Again, despite this one being called Nightmare, there's really not that many arrows here, so this still feels relatively easy, I would say. Okay, almost just accidentally tapped another arrow. I really gotta remember to stop doing that. I keep almost accidentally tapping an arrow when I'm trying to put the lines on the screen. Again, it's just this little so it's a circle when the lines are on the screen, and when I tap it, it turns into a square on the bottom right there. All right, these should all just be able to go up. And these can all go to the side. Easy. Making light work of this nightmare puzzle here in arrows on BlockBlast. Making it look so easy, guys. I'm like the BlockBlast champion. I'm the bringer of arrows. Right, Diva? Alright, we went from nightmare to super hard. What, guys, I need your comments right now. What on earth is this shape actually supposed to be? What is this shape supposed to be? I want to say it's like one of those TIE fighters from Star Wars sideways, maybe? Yeah, again, I feel like you could look at this a lot of ways. It's like when you go to your therapist and they have you stare at those blot stain art pieces, right? What do you see when you look at this? What even is this? I don't know. All right, well again, technically this should be easier than the one I just did. I find that unlikely, but let's see. Okay. Hmm, okay. Okay, maybe it is easier. Just a lot more arrows that are making squiggles on this one, I guess. Okay. Okay. Get rid of all that. These go down. These can all go. There's just some really long arrows. Okay. Some dummy long arrows here. Okay. Again, once I complete it, it should reveal what the shape is a little more clearly. Again, I would bet stakes that this is one of those TIE fighters from Star Wars. Again, if they can avoid the copyright, I think that's what it is, but maybe it is an anvil we're gonna see in a second here once I complete this. Okay, which arrow can go next? Well, it's gotta be one of these ones at the top. Yeah, this one. Okay. I think this one goes up now. These can go. That's gone. That should be able to go now. And this. Get rid of all those. It should be good. Wait, is it a two-way sign? Is that what it is? A two-way sign? Man, we were way off, guys. I hate to say it. I don't. Just looking at that, I think we were way off. I think it's one of those like you're walking in the forest and the path splits into a Y and there's that sign in the middle with the two arrows. I think that's what it's supposed to be. But yeah, I guess we're way off on that one. All right, so we're on to hard difficulty. Again, I'm always kind of sad when we get the rectangles. They're so boring. Okay, let's see. What else can we do here? Again, this should be even easier than the last one, though. Went from nightmare to very hard to hard. If they keep getting easier, I might fall asleep. Okay. Get rid of these. Okay. Get rid of those. We're blasting off right now, guys. This is too easy. Okay. That's how we block blast, guys. 44 arrows. Okay, we got another shape here. Here's the question. I'm thinking like a price tag or a fancy handbag. This is super hard. Again, it doesn't really look like there's all that many arrows here, but again, well, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments. Again, what the heck is this thing supposed to be? Okay, let's start getting rid of it and find out. And we still got about at least 27 more minutes to stream here, so we'll see how many more levels we can get through. Okay. Again, after I finish this stream, I'm planning on immediately probably going into uploading the videos I'm behind on until the people are ready for the 15 win challenge in Brawl Stars. Okay, get rid of that thing there. It's probably gonna be quite a few ones threading the needle here, I would think. Alright. And the only reason I'm spotting them so quickly here is because of the lines on screen. Again, it just makes it so much easier if you're careful enough and don't accidentally hit one of the arrows when you're pressing the button, which I've done like 4 times now, but again, as long as I keep reminding myself, I should be fine. Okay, there we go. This can go now. I'm making pretty light work of this super hard level, I would say. Making super hard look super easy. This is how we do. Just getting rid of them here. Okay. We're already probably halfway through, making very light work of this puzzle. Okay, there we go. Almost tapped an arrow on the bottom right there again.
7979BS says, so what time will you stream Brawl Stars tomorrow?
Again, Dehiva, that is such a difficult question to answer, again, because of our time difference. But again, for me, it would be 7 a.m. But I don't want you to convert that just yet because, again, if I'm doing the 15 win challenge, I'm going to be up again later tonight. I do still want to get a decent amount of sleep. So, again, I'm debating on whether I should start the stream late tomorrow, again, in my time, which would be probably, again, even later for you to tomorrow or to the same day. Again, the time thing is a bit confusing, Dehiva, but again, the issue is I'm going to be up later tonight regardless because, again, I've got the 15 win challenge. I'm finishing off this stream. I want to upload those videos I'm behind on in the meantime. So, again, we're just going to have to see. Again, I want to say regular time, which, again, is that would be like.
Diva7979BS says, yeah, we have 12 hours difference.
Well, Dehiva, if I start it as early as I wanted, it'd be 10 hours from now. So, again, that's assuming I get a decent sleep though, because I never want to stream when I'm like really tired. I'm even a little tired now, but this is probably the best sleep I've had yet. But I'm gonna end up staying up late again anyway. So, again, it's a bit of my fault also for just, waiting so long to do the 15 win challenge, but I wanted to give our other teammate the, you know, a decent chance to. I wanted to give him a decent chance to respond. Again, I keep seeing him log into the game, but he just hasn't reached out to us yet. So I'm wondering if he's just kind of given up on esports, considering, again, like I've told you, how difficult it is to really get your value out of it. Though they did, the last thing I'll say to Hiva is if you weren't aware, there's this new thing called challengers. Um, so essentially, what that is they have these local land tournaments. I think there was one in the U.S., but it's pretty far from me, so I wouldn't consider doing it. But they have these local land tournaments to get other players more used to the LAN experience, and if you can win through that, again, if you win enough LAN tournaments. It's like an alternate way to get into the finals, essentially, right? If you win those LAN tournaments, but you still failed the regular route, which is playing again through the monthly qualifiers, there is a secret secondary way now to get to the world finals by playing really, really well in this new challengers that they've introduced. Again, you won't see me doing it, at least not right now, but again, it's something I might be interested in the future. Again, if this channel really starts doing well. So again, you'll also notice a good amount of esports players tend to be YouTube creators or streamers or just content creators in general. And that is also because, again, they need some sort of stream of money to keep doing what they do. So, again, the majority of the money, unless they like really, really perform well, isn't actually coming from, the like the challenges themselves, right? Like the monthly files or anything. It's coming from like deals with brands or their organization or the content that they create. So unfortunately, again, it's really, really hard to make very good money from the actual esports unless you're just like winning everything, which again, you're playing against the best of the best. So it's not really the greatest mindset to assume you're just going to win, against some of the best players in the world. Okay. But yeah, again, I hope that's sort of a heads up to answer your question into the reality of, esports. Again, like, when you watch, say, the World Finals or something, and you see those players walking out onto the platform to play the game, right? You notice the shirts they're wearing are like covered in logos and stuff, right? Those are the brand deals that they have to promote other brands. So again, that's a good source of money or for them. But again, they have to do a lot of those brand deals to make enough financially to keep performing. All right, so again, I want to say that's still not 100% clear, but I want to say that was a like price tag, I think, that we just completed there. So we're back onto another nightmare. This has got to be a chess piece, right? Does anyone else think this is any other shape in the comments here? This is almost certainly a chess piece. I want to say like it wouldn't be. It's got to be a king or a queen. I'm trying to remember what each one looks like. I think it's got to be like a. There's no way it's a pawn because it has these slight edges here. So it wouldn't be a rook or a knight. It's gonna be either the king or queen. But again, if you guys are into chess, there are quite a few variations on the way that pieces look. Again, I can play chess if you guys were wondering, but I don't do it a whole lot, and I certainly don't practice it either. So I'd say I'm pretty intermediate in skill at most. But again, just like anything else, chess is essentially a puzzle game, right? Because if you were to have two perfect AI play against each other in chess, there is a certain finite amount of moves I imagine you can make before one side will win, regardless, depending on which side is playing first or second, I would assume, regardless of the plays made. But again, even in chess, there are some additional rules that you can add, like there's something called castling that allows you to move the king onto the other side of a rook. Again, there's very specific things like that, or uh, there's those rules. It's actually, I think this second one I'm thinking of is it's a French word, um, but I can't remember what it is. It means like in passing. And if you have two pawns pass each other, if you were to imagine a real battle scenario, two pawns would cross each other diagonally. They wouldn't just cross, they'd like battle or something, right? So,
7979BS says, yeah, I got the chess tournament in district level.
okay, so does everything I'm saying sound correct then to Eva? Because maybe you're even more informed than I am, but there's like an extra rule too with pawns, I think, where it's called like in passing, but it's a French word for it. And when the two pawns pass each other, whoever passes the pawn, like it'll take out the other pawn without moving the piece diagonally like you usually would. So again, there's like two extra rules you can throw in to standard chess games.
7979BS says, yeah, you can.
Okay, so I do know some things that I'm talking about. That's good to hear, Tahiva. Again, I don't play a lot of chess. These are just the things that I've heard, and I've never used those two rules, but I do know they exist. Again, I'm trying to think. We had a chessboard in the lounge when I was at college. I only ever played like, I think 3 times max. One time I got absolutely destroyed by a poor starting move, but again, I don't know if the other player was really good at chess, but again, something I think, at least in my opinion, people will fall for is that uh, what's the piece that moves diagonally? That's the one I can never quite remember. But it's that piece that you can do a lot more with than people would think usually, right? And you're less likely, I think, to see.
7979BS says, imagine chess and Brawl Stars collab, but I don't think it will work.
Well, Dehiva, I don't know if you play Clash Royale at all or have been paying attention to Clash Royale, but Clash Royale, I think, did have a chess collab, believe it or not. So it's not even that hard to imagine that Brawl Stars would also have some kind of chess collab because it's all within Supercell. So again, it's not impossible to have a chess collab in Brawl Stars, but again, I think it would probably be a lot more complicated than standard chess because they'd probably want to make it more interesting, seeing as Brawl Stars it's such a very high action, high pace game compared to like Clash Royale, where you're strategically putting down your characters, right? Which again is very similar to chess. So it is a collab that really made a lot of sense, actually. Again, I didn't play it, but that's only because I stopped playing many years ago. Again, I kind of told you guys why that was, but again, I do think at the very least, what I will say about Clash Royale is they they have a rather good art team or team for marketing, right? They make some great advertisements and animations, but I think more people would honestly say they're interested to see um, like a Clash of Clans, like they did a shorts, animated shorts, or a Clash Royale. They're all kind of interconnected, right? If they had some kind of like movie or series on TV, because they really have creators that seem skilled enough to make interesting cartoons or stories of sorts, right? So again, while I can't necessarily stand behind the main game of Clash Royale, I do think they have a fairly talented art team, if nothing else. Okay, what am I missing here? I was just making progress. I think this one can go. That doesn't really help me that much. What else am I missing? This can go. These can go. Still a lot of arrows in the way, though. Okay. What does that leave me with? Okay, so a lot of these pointing upwards, actually. So, again, I think that's why this is a nightmare level. Again, it doesn't seem like there's that many arrows, but a lot of them are going across the screen, so that's what's making it tricky here. This one can go, and this. These should be good to go. This should go. I think these can all go now. So can these. This one, these now. Alright. This can go. This can go down, freeing up all of these. Alright, and we're almost done already. Again, this one didn't feel too bad compared to some of the nightmare levels. Again, I think the Pac-Man one was honestly the hardest so far, but we'll keep going here. Okay. I think that can go still. These can go. I think those two are still blocked, but I can get rid of it. Okay. See what's left here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think that would be a king piece, right? If I'm not mistaken. Because the king and the queen, they can each have like fancy adornments on top, so it's hard to tell sometimes. I know the positioning of the king and queen on the board is always supposed to be consistent, though. All right, we're on to a super hard. I got about 10 minutes left, so again, I might finish off on this one or the next one for the stream tonight. Okay, again, super hard doesn't feel so hard yet. Again, once you get good at like completing the nightmare levels here, everything else almost feels ridiculously easy. We're clearing it out so fast. Oh my gosh. Easy, so easy. 44 arrows in like, what, a minute there? Okay, this could be the rook on hard difficulty. Maybe they have the full assortment in chess pieces if we just play through here. This should be rather easy as well, I would think. Okay. Get rid of all that. Okay. That can go. All those are pretty much good to go. Alright, get rid of that, that, that. Get rid of this. Alright, another level down. Again, I think that was the rook there. Run to another super hard. Again, I'm wondering how many of these I can finish off before we end the stream here in like 8-ish minutes. Okay, get rid of that. I can zoom out a little bit. I think zooming out at max almost helps a tremendous amount, especially with some of the arrows flying across the screen most of the time. You know, I'm starting to get scared I might be getting too good at this. Okay. Let's see. Again, I kind of made a joke about it in the second short I posted about increasing IQ, right? I have no idea if that's actually true or not. I mean, puzzle solving maybe, but I don't know about general intelligence. Okay. Must be missing one. Which, probably, yeah, there we go. Sends off a cascade. I mean, it's kind of rhythmic in a way if you notice how the arrows follow, because usually getting one away allows for the ones that were pointing at it to move, so it's actually quite sequential for the most part once you get used to it. I'm in. I almost had that perfect there in like a minute. Okay, nice 58 again. You know, yeah. So this must be the knights. I think they actually do have the full, the full set of chess pieces and arrows for some reason. All right, so this is super hard. Again, we'll see how hard it is. Again, I might be able to get through 2 more here if I work somewhat quickly. Okay. Making pretty good progress so far. Oh man, I did it again. Okay, well, again, super hard hasn't been too actually difficult though compared to Nightmare. Nightmare is the only one that actually like really keeps me stumped here compared to the other puzzles. Okay. Probably missing an obvious one here. this one. There we go. That gets rid of a bunch of them immediately. There we go. Okay, that can go. And all those are gone now. Okay, I think it was that one and that one. That one can go. These can go.
Diva7979 says again, thanks for the Edgar tip.
Yeah, again, Steve, I'm gonna be honest. I think I shared that short in the Discord when Sans was playing Edgar, right? It's not too hard for anyone to just spam the super, then spam the gadget, and then spam the attack with Edgar, right? So again, I'm not gonna say he's as skilled, right, as some brawlers, but I think the mechanic of his new scarf gadget really adds to his skill ceiling. Again, I'm not going to call Edgar a really skilled brawler in Brawl Stars. I think we all know it's not that complicated to pick up Edgar, but there's certain specific, oh gosh darn it, certain specific scenarios. Alright, I almost lost that one, but there's the knight, right, and arrows. Certain specific scenarios, right? I guess like maybe BB or Bull, where you have to be a lot more skillful with Edgar. Alright, let me see. I think I'll finish off on this level, and then I'll probably end the stream. And this is super hard, so it shouldn't take that long here, at least not for me, because, I am an arrows professional, connoisseur of arrows, we'll say. Okay. Let's see. Which one am I missing? There we go. Just watching them fly away. Yeah, they're all on the opposite side here. There we go. And these can go. See, again, the only thing that makes these hard levels hard is the fact the arrows are practically off screen, but again, this is arrows we're talking about, guys. It can only get so difficult. Okay. Rid of that one, that one. Again, this one looks like it can go across right here, but it'll still technically bump into the other one, which is quite frustrating. Okay, I think I gotta wait on the rest there. Let's see what else can go here. And that one looks like it can, but it won't quite make it. There we go.
Diva7979 says I will be spectating the win challenge.
You will. All right. Well, again, I can't promise 100% we're going to win, but again, maybe in the who is it? Again, I want to expose their like.
7979 says since it's afternoon for me.
Yeah, again, I want to expose like who they are. I mean, if you spectate me, you'll obviously see who it is, Dehiva, but they said they'll be available to play around like 11 to 12 o'clock for me because they're currently at a party or something again. Not really my tea to spill, but that's what I've heard, I will say. So again, hopefully they're enjoying themselves, but again, hopefully they can focus up and they haven't had too much punch juice and we can get through the 15-win challenge in Brawl Stars. Okay. I swear, I was gonna say it's lagging a little bit on stream, isn't it? I was gonna say, how is Arrows taking enough RAM that that it's lagging? That's ridiculous. Okay, this game is so simple. How could it possibly lag? Okay, it's actually lagging right now, and I have no idea why. But again, we've just about hit 90 minutes or an hour and a half, so I'm just about to end stream on this last level, and we'll check how far I've gotten in a second here. Alright. Well done on an 83 arrow level, super hard. And we're back onto another nightmare. Yeah, and the 15 win Diva, no, it's so much worse than that Diva because you can't even see what your enemy is picking. And this is actually how I won the 15 win challenge with randoms, I'll tell you guys, is I was able to suspect what my enemies would be playing, and instead of playing whatever the meta was, I actually played against the enemy team, if that makes sense. Alright, yeah, it is. I can't believe arrows of all things is lagging right now, but anyway. Oh man, yeah, it is lagging like a lot. Okay, I was about to end stream anyway, but it might end itself here, it seems. Alright, here, let me. What if I take the game off here? Maybe it'll fix itself. Let me see if it pops back up. And yeah, wow, that's really bad. It's really, really lagging right now. I'm gonna see if I can bring it back for a second. Here, I got the phone light. It's kind of spooky going around. Okay, so campfire stories at midnight, but it's also spooky because it's because it's BlockBlast. Again, I have no idea why we're lagging here, but again, let me finish up for the stream here. It's okay. I think it's sort of coming back now. Maybe the actual screen itself is tripping, but I wonder, can you guys hear what I'm saying right now? Like maybe the audio is still coming through, even though the visuals are tripping a bit. Again, I think it'll come back up. Maybe. Let me put it in 2 times speed. See if it's fixed itself yet. Okay, I think it's coming back now. I think it is. All right, we're almost there. I mean, what coincidence on the timing though. So again, anyway, hopefully you guys did enjoy our time here with BlockBlast, but I got to blast off. Got plenty of other things going on tonight. So again, another thank you to the people at Hungry Studio for reaching out to me to advertise for their game BlockBlast. Again, I do think it's pretty fun for the most part. Diva, again, I don't typically record anything for esports. Again, assuming the audio is coming through here. Again, if it's not, if the audio isn't coming through, again, just reach out to me on Discord. I'll answer any more questions that you have. But again, typically I don't record the esports stuff. Again, for a few reasons, privacy. I don't want to lag at all while I'm actually doing the challenges. You know, you want to have the best performance possible. Um, but again, typically I won't. But what I will do, because I know you guys like to see what rewards I get from the star drops, is what I'll usually do is I'll take a quick picture of the rarity and the reward itself that I get. And then I'll put it out in a post for you guys to look at. So again, you will get to see the rewards, but again, I typically won't show off the matches. And again, I did say if you guys were really strapped that I would put a what did you say? Put out um a guide, right? A guide on brawlers to play for each map. Again, with it being so late and there's only like a few hours left on the challenge, it doesn't really make sense to do that now. But as I said before, again, there's plenty of other content creators who make really, really good guides on which brawlers to pick for the 15 win challenge. So again, I think me and my team can probably just talk about what synergies we want to do before we enter into each round. But again, if you do have me friended in Brawl Stars, you can watch along as Steve has pointed out here. So again, I do have to end off the stream. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. And hopefully you had a blast as well with BlockBlast. Again, I think it's a pretty decent game overall. Simple puzzle game with different variants of games that you can play and easy for anyone to pick up or pass a little bit of time with. Again, pretty relaxing, simplistic game here. So, yeah, other than that, again, hopefully you guys will tune in for more videos or streams again to get the most notifications on when streams or videos or shorts are coming out. Make sure to join the Discord because I just refreshed the bot, so those notifications are always coming out immediately instead of having to rely on the YouTube notifications that do not always come out on time, as some people have reportedly told me. But again, I think we all knew that anyway. So, again, other than that, thank you, Hungry Studio. Again, hopefully you've been enjoying my progress as well. But other than that, let's see how far I can take this, guys.